the hard thing sometimes about getting fit as you get older, or maintaining fitness as you get older, sometimes you tend to define yourself by the setbacks. They often come thick and fast. You feel you're going from one health crisis to another time poor crisis to another, and you can get in some quite bad mental health problems like that, where your brain is always just trying to cope with the last crisis or the last setback in that way. And it can be very debilitating because you don't look for then opportunities. You're making sure that you're always staying safe, always in that protective brain, not allowing yourself to get back out there and seize those early morning opportunities or late evenings, time for yourself. It's really easy to get in a little bit of a rut, and then the rut, stays for 6 months, and then suddenly 18 months, and suddenly it's 2 years. And you haven't put your health, your physical health or your mental health first. You're just in a coping and survival strategy, and that sort of remains. And you're starting to waste a lot of opportunities that are passing you by. You mightn't be able to get going really easily. It might be a bit of a struggle. But hopefully, once you do get into a routine, you actually start to look forward to things. You start to crave getting your fitness in. You're starting to look forward to, even on cold mornings or windy mornings or even rainy mornings, you want to do your run, you want to do your fitness schedule. Speaking of which, better start actually running. Finding that balancing act, just when you're coming from a place of injury or unhealth or long-term bad habits, getting going is a really difficult thing, and that's where you gotta have a program. You gotta have something set out so you at least know where you're starting from. If it's haphazard and just leap into it and do a couple of strong days and make yourself overly sore, give it away for a little bit, do that routine again of, especially as a male, you often tend to overdo things. We're not sometimes the overly brightest thing in the world. We tend to try and muscle our way through some problems. And it's sometimes the same. We feel we should be able to, so we go at it wholeheartedly, which is a good thing in a way, but it then bites us and doesn't give us the ability to get into a routine, and a routine that is repeatable and doable and manageable, and then just keep increasing it. Have some hard days, have some punishing days, have some days where you didn't think things were possible but you got it done anyway. But then make sure you do the walk, you do the things that are about keeping it in check and being honest with yourself about what you're looking for. Are you looking to just serve your ego in those moments of overdoing, but not serving your health in the longer run? Alright, better hit another little bit of run. So, what are you doing with your own health? Are you making sure it's actually about improving your health, or serving your short-term ego. And that's a really important thing to actually understand and do. For me, one way of telling whether a program is starting to work is you're starting to look forward to your sessions. You're starting to really dislike if you have to miss a session or you have to juggle. So it's not possible to do. And whereas before, thinking, why would anyone want to get up early? Why would anyone want to get up early and go for a run? Like that's the silliest thing in the world. But you actually do look forward to it, and then you're starting to make a difference. You mightn't still get, I certainly don't get much of a runner's high, but you feel really good for having done it. And I guess that's not the main thing, and you start to feel consistent improvement. Even if you've had setbacks, you still feel like you're still going in the right direction. So the biggest thing for me was always make it repeatable. Allow my very unhealthy and broken body to make it repeatable. And it took a while to put my ego aside, to trust the program, to trust what I was doing isn't making things worse. Putting that ego aside, not letting yourself be defined by your setbacks or what's not possible in that moment, and keep finding a way forward. That's probably the biggest thing. And also, if you're feeling unhealthy, and if you're being unhealthy for a certain period of time, especially if you've been in a program for a little bit, make sure you go, as a male, make sure you go and see a doctor. We're sometimes a little overly stoic in that way, and we tend to think, I'll just put things aside for a little bit and I'll be okay and I'll rest. And if you're resting but you've still got something fundamentally wrong, then simply resting won't help it. So put that time aside to go and see a professional. Hopefully you can get some answers, and then hopefully that means you get faster back to your program and more away from that story of setbacks and an aging, unhealthy body. Do what you can to improve your health while you have it. Take care. See you in the next one.